to get better in only 7 days. Just pick up your guitar and play. I promise you'll get better. Just do as I say. Practice for a while. For the following days, you will get that satisfaction you're looking for, and you'll be coming back for more. I promise you'll be better if you try. Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm giving you some tips on how to improve your technique in just 7 days. But first of all, let me thank my dear patrons for supporting this show. I thank you so much. Your support is super critical for the show to keep on going on. If you also want to become a patron and support the show, it's super simple. Just go to the link and follow the steps. You'll get access to free video lessons every week, backing tracks, a shout out here in the episodes, and my huge thank you. You can also support the channel by contributing to the tip jar on PayPal, or you can go to my reverb.com store and buy some of the gear I review here in the show and I can't afford to keep. If you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook and we'll deal with it from there. Let's go. Improving your technique, it's largely related to how you practice and how much you practice. You should be practicing guitar every day. Every day. But the great news is that you don't need to spend 8 hours a day practicing. It's better if you do it, of course. You will improve way more if you study 8 hours a day. But just like 10 to 15 minutes a day will take you super far. The thing is, you need to practice guitar. And practice is different than playing guitar. So you need to study guitar in order to develop your technique. Because playing guitar is a thing, developing technique is another. That's why soccer athletes do push-ups and abs and work out their biceps, although they play with their legs. That's because you need to be fit. You need to be in a good physical condition. And when playing guitar, we need to get this in great condition. The articulation between both hands is crucial to playing guitar. You need to be able to pick with your right hand or with your left if you're a left guy, but pick with the pick hand, that's simpler, and strike the strings with the left hand at the same time. They need to be completely synced in. So in today's episode, I'm giving you 5 different levels of practice and technique improve depending on the level you're at. For this kind of work, this will be your best friend. Check it out. This is the Ditto looper, but you can use another loop. Actually, in my studio pedal board, I'm using the Line 6 M9 loop section for the episodes, but it's not as versatile as a Ditto looper because a Ditto looper is almost infinite. You can record a big loop. With the M9, you only have 24 seconds or 32 seconds, which is not that much if you want to record a bigger section. But for pedal board estate, it's cool to use the M9. I would even recommend you more the Ditto loop, the Ditto Plus, because it has 99 presets, so you can store a lot of backing tracks and play with it. I don't have mine here because I have it at home in my home pedal board where I usually do my guitar lessons via Skype, and I use it a lot for the lessons because I can have 30 different loops and I just go back and forth and pick them up. I don't have to record a loop every time. But why is a loop pedal crucial for your technique development? It's because you're playing music. You're not developing some sports technique. So the technique you need to build is physical, and you need to improve your muscle memory, but you need to make it musical. It doesn't matter how fast you are if you're not musical. Get it? So, as I told you, I will be partitioning this episode in 5 different levels. It will all be linked in the description box. And by the way, there's also affiliate links for the gear I use and for the Ditto Looper and the Ditto Plus Looper. If you buy it from there, Amazon will give me a small commission, and you're helping me, so I thank you in advance. But in the description, there's an index where I tell you the 5 levels we're going through. We're starting at the easiest level, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't play it. You should play it. You should do this exercise all the time. I do it all the time. It's one of my warm-up exercises. I just don't have to do it as often as I did. How can you build your technique in only 7 days? The 7 days are just a start, of course. You will be building your technique for whole your life. Forever. You will be always developing technique because you can always get more. But in just 7 days, you will improve significantly. You will improve significantly. That's a strange word. You will improve significantly. You will improve significantly if you follow the steps in just 7 days. So let's start with level number 1. And the basic thing about practicing technique is the syncing of your 2 hands and getting muscle memory, getting your brain to communicate to your hands fast, and your hands executing your brain's information and orders really fast. So it takes a while, and the slower you practice, the better you get. So the first exercise is what I call a chromatic exercise, and I will divide it in 3 groups. So you can even start it at the very basic level and then take it to a 3rd basic level. Let's start with level 1.1, which is just playing chromatic notes. We'll be playing on fret number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the low E string. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, this is really simple. Do it in every string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move to string A. 1, 2, 3, 4. D string. G string. B string. E string. What I don't want to be happening here is this. So your hands need to be completely synced so you can play with the right hand and the same time as you hammer, as you press down with your left hand. So not okay. So we need to practice this syncing. And you noticed I played it really slow. So a thing that you can do after a while, starting to get faster, but you don't need to ever go fast. Fast is kind of something that comes with time. Just do it a lot of times. It will sink in your brain. It will make you be more technical, more precise. The slower you practice, the more refined you get. Then you can try to play it faster. It's okay to practice that, but not need. Let's go to level number 2. Let's start with the low E string and then go up to the high E string. 1, 2, 3, and. Level number 3, we pick all this information and we complicate it a little more. So now, instead of going up, we go up, but up a fret too. Okay, so we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Okay, so play it with me. I'm putting a little reverb just to give me a little more atmosphere. 1, 2, 3, and. Now coming back. And this lets you know you didn't make any mistake. Often it will happen that you will not end up on 1 again, which means you made a mistake somewhere. You can do it, and you should do it faster. 1, 2, 3, and. And this is level number 1 and 3 different steps. Level 2 is our favorite pentatonic scale. What I want you to do in a pentatonic scale, I want you to record a loop or to play along with my loop. I will leave you the loop in the end of the episode if you want to practice. I will record a loop in G just to give you some cool thing so you can play on top of. Okay, so I have this loop, and now what I want to do is play the pentatonic scale on top of it. So you all know the pentatonic, I'm guessing, but you probably don't know how to use it. I have a lot of students that know the shape, but don't know how to use it. And the thing is rhythm and timing and where you place the notes. So I will give you a very musical exercise that is just playing the scale, but changing the rhythm a little. 1, 2, 3, and. The only trick here is that we're bending the flat third, so this note because it's a minor third and we're playing a major third on the harmony. So by the way, all the tabs that I'm giving you were written in Guitar Pro, and if you want, there's an affiliate link where you can buy Guitar Pro from, and Guitar Pro will give me a small commission, so you're also helping the channel by buying it. But it's a really cool tool if you want to get it. So by this, we're playing a way more musical stuff than if I would play like this, for example. So if I play it, and this will make your pentatonic scale sound way better, way more interesting, way more musical, while you're also learning the shape of the scale and playing with it. And then I encourage you to, after the 7 days of playing it, start to look at new stuff that come with the shape. For example, like, because it's all related. But first, build up your technique. Let's go to level number 3, diatonic scales. Diatonic scales are basically the Western world scale. So it's what we have in Happy Birthday or Jingle Bells, or in any childish song we have in Western world is based upon the diatonic scale. Basically every song that's not a blues song or a blues derived song, of course, it's based on diatonic. So let's go with diatonic, let's go with C, and you should get the 5 caged shapes of C diatonic. So you will get the same scale but played in 5 different places in the neck and the fretboard according to every one of the caged shapes. So shape number 1 is based on C shape. I will give you a C chord on my Super Ego. Instead of having a loop, I will give you just the texture of a C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now moving up to A shape, I play it like this. We have our A shape diatonic scale. Moving up to our G shape, I'll be playing this. Moving up to our E shape. now to our D shape, which will be here, I'll be playing this shape of chord. And then to our C shape 1 octave above, which will be this. And of course, you can practice this with a lot of different speeds as the other exercise. What I want you is to be able to play it repetitively and constantly, so you can improve your technique and your fingers move where you want them to move. The speed is just something that you work with time. Don't worry about the speed in this 7 days, in this first 7 days. The 7 days are only meant to build your fingering strength and your coordination. Level 4 will be about arpeggios and playing diatonic arpeggios. So every note of the diatonic scale can be harmonized, which means we can create a chord based on the scale and with the root note on every one of the 7 notes of the diatonic scale, which takes us to the harmonization of diatonic scale. I'm not talking about that concept today. I'm just giving you an exercise which will be playing the arpeggio of every of the chords of the diatonic scale one at a time in the right sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then ending up on the octave. That means you will be playing an arpeggio, which is a great tool for your technique, but also for your musicality in the future. But what an arpeggio is actually a chord broken down into 4 notes. Instead of playing the 4 notes at a time, so for example, instead of playing the C major 7, I will play it 1 note at a time. So I will record a sequence of chords, of the diatonic chords, C major, D minor, 7 of course, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant, A minor 7, B half diminished, and C major 7 again. But I will not play them moving up the fretboard, because I want you to do that on the arpeggios. So let me record the loop. I will be adding a tremolo, surfy trem for some spice, and a compressor for more sustain, the Deep 6 by Walrus Effects. Okay, so now I have my basis, and you will hear why I told you a loop pedal will be your best friend, because it will make the exercise sound way more musical and way more precise, because you will have to change in time with the song. But also, by recording the loop, you will also be practicing on how to record a loop and how to play a rhythm guitar part. So let's go. Look at the tabs, follow it so you can play with me. And of course, this is a video on YouTube, so you can always play it again and a million times play it with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will build yourself some great technique, as you're having to move around, you're having to always reposition your left hand, which forces your brain to reconfigure your reference points. This is a really cool exercise, and it will build up your technique. Level number 5, the last level, is making it into a musical chord progression. Kind of what we did on level number 4, but now we're playing not the arpeggio starting on 1, we'll be going chord progression using the 2, 5, 1, and then 6 dominant, which is the 5 of the 2. If you're not following this, please go and watch my Basic Theory for Musicians video, because I explain all of that there. So we're playing the 2 of C, which is D minor 7, the 5 of C, which is G7, G dominant. Then we're playing the 1 of C, which of course is C major 7. You're right. You're getting it all right. And then we're playing the 6 of C, but we're making it dominant. So the 6 of C is A minor 7. We're making it A dominant, A7, and we're adding the flat 13. So A7 added flat 13. And this is how it sounds. Let me record a backing track. So what we'll do is playing combined arpeggios of every one of those 4 chords, but not playing them starting on 1 and starting all the same at all the time. So I'm not playing. We're not coming back. So we're trying to make a line, and this is a line progression I did way back, but it's very useful for you to practice the interchangeable chords. So I'm playing, and then I'm starting on the 3 of G7. And then I'm using way more intervals than there's in the arpeggios, but it's just to make it musical, so I'm using chromatics. Don't mind what I'm using, just learn the lick and practice it. So here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. And we can play it faster in a more bebop way when you learn it good and when you're agile with it. So let me record a new backing track. A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and. Well, that's it, and I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me know in the comments what you think about this exercise, and if you want me to develop some kind of exercise more in the future. If you want to become a patron, just go to my Patreon link and you're supporting the show, but also getting early access to episodes, free video lessons every week, backing tracks every month, and my gratitude for supporting the show. You can also support the show by contributing to the tip jar on PayPal and going to my reverb.com store, where I have some of the gear I review here in the show and I can't afford to keep. If you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. That's all for today, folks. See you next week. Bye-bye.